Peppa goes to hospital. Today, we are going to visit Pedro Pony in hospital, Madame Gazelle tells the class. Pedro's leg is broken and the doctors are mending it. Peppa has never been to the hospital before. Except when I was born, of course, Peppa says. I'm wearing my nurse's outfit, Susie Sheep says, because hospitals are very serious. But when the class arrives on the children's ward, the walls are full of colour. Ooh, they all say as they set off to find Pedro. Pedro is in bed with his leg in a plaster cast. Does it hurt? Zoe Zebra asks. It did at first, Pedro says, but not anymore. Do you want to draw on it? What's it like being in hospital? Asks Peppa. It's great, replies Pedro. Nurse gives me stickers and comes whenever I press this button. Another nurse comes over with a trolley. Lunchtime, she says. Spaghetti and sponge pudding, please, says Pedro. Wow, you get to eat in bed, gasps Peppa. Dr. Brown Bear visits Pedro. You're nearly better and ready to go home. The bell rings. Visiting time has ended. Get well soon, wave the children. A few days later, Pedro is back. Where is your plaster cast? Ask his friends. My leg is all better. It's a super leg now, Pedro says. Thank you for visiting me in hospital. The end. Peppa Pig in the garden. This is Peppa. This is her brother, George. This is Grandpa Pig and Granny Pig. Peppa, George and Grandpa Pig are in the garden. Grandpa Pig gives Peppa a lettuce.
Wow!
What is that? Says Peppa. It is a snail, says Grandpa Pig. George likes the snail. Where is the snail now, Grandpa? Says Peppa. It is in its shell, says Grandpa Pig. The shell is the snail's house. George likes the snail's shell. Peppa likes it too. Can we be snails in our houses? Says Peppa. Peppa and George's friends come to the garden. What is that? They say. They are bees, says Grandpa Pig.
Wow!
What are they doing? Says Peppa. They are making honey, says Grandpa Pig. I like honey, says Peppa. Let's be bees, say the friends. Bzz, 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 they say. Granny Pig is in the garden. She gives Peppa and her friends some honey on bread. I like bees, says Peppa. We like bees too,
say Peppa's friends. We like eating their honey. It's great. The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa's busy day. It is 7 o'clock. Move the big hand to the 12 and the little hand to the 7. At 7 o'clock in the morning, Peppa wakes up. Time to get up, George, cries Peppa. It is 8 o'clock. Move the big hand to the 12 and the little hand to the 8. At 8 o'clock, Peppa has breakfast. Yummy, says Peppa. Can I have some more, please? It is 9 o'clock. Move the big hand to the 12 and the little hand to the 9. At 9 o'clock, Peppa and George go to playgroup. Dinosaur, says George. It is 12 o'clock. Move the big hand to the 12 and the little hand to the 12. At 12 o'clock, Madame Gazelle takes everyone for a picnic lunch. I love picnics, says Peppa. It is 2 o'clock. Move the big hand to the 12 and the little hand to the 2. At 2 o'clock, Mammy and Daddy Pig pick up Peppa and George in their car. Toot toot! It is 3 o'clock. Move the big hand to the 12 and the little hand to the 3. At 3 o'clock, Peppa and George go to the playground. Swing time, shouts Peppa and Rebecca Rabbit. It's 6 o'clock. Move the big hand to the 12 and the little hand to the 6. At 6 o'clock, it's time for dinner. Pancakes, cheers Peppa. They're my favourite. It is 7 o'clock. Move the big hand to the 12 and the little hand to the 7. At 7 o'clock, Peppa and George get ready for bed. Time to scrub and brush, says Peppa. It is 8 o'clock. Move the big hand to the 12 and the little hand to the 8. At 8 o'clock, it's bedtime. Mammy and Daddy Pig come in to say goodnight. But Peppa and George are fast asleep. The end. Peppa Pig, Peppa's family computer. Mammy Pig is working on the family computer. She is typing very fast. Mammy Pig has a lot of important work to do today. Daddy Pig is in the kitchen making soup for lunch. Daddy, Peppa asks, can we go and watch Mummy on the computer, please? Yes, as long as you don't disturb her, Daddy Pig says. Mummy, Peppa asks, can George and I sit on your lap and watch you work? Yes, as long as you both sit quietly, says Mummy Pig. About a minute later, Peppa asks, can we play the Happy Mrs. Chicken game on the computer? Mummy Pig says, we can play Happy Mrs. Chicken later, but now I have to work. Another minute later, Peppa asks, Mummy, can we help you work? Peppa taps away on the computer like Mummy Pig. No, Peppa, Mummy says. You mustn't touch the computer while I'm working. Yes, George, Peppa says in a bossy voice. You mustn't do this. Peppa taps away again at the computer flashes. Peppa, stop, Mummy Pig says. Sorry, Mummy, Peppa says. I was just showing George what not to do. Daddy Pig, Mummy calls. Can you mend the computer while I finish the lunch? Daddy Pig says. I'm not very good with these things. Daddy Pig pushes a button. Daddy Pig pushes another button. Maybe if I switch it off and switch it on again. Daddy Pig has mended the computer. Hooray, Daddy! Shouts Peppa. She and George jump up and down. Yes, Daddy Pig says. I am a bit of an expert at these things. Daddy, Peppa asks, can we play the Happy Mrs. Chicken game? Mummy said we could play it later. Peppa says, and now it's later. Well, Daddy Pig thinks for a moment. Okay then. Daddy Pig starts the Happy Mrs. Chicken game. Ho 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 ho. Daddy Pig laughs as Peppa and George play Happy Mrs. Chicken. Mummy Pig says as she comes into the room, I see the computer is working again. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.